Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Navi's turn to ban. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Navi's turn to pick. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Navi's turn to pick.
Lion.
The final series of not just the season, but also of the day, also of these two teams, depending on who wins. And it's Virtus Pro versus Navi. What an absolute treat watching the clash of these two titans, or a clash of the age, going up against each other. We're joined by Purge on the big screen. We got Kyle and T-Gov with us as well. And we are ready for the draft of this best of three. Purge, we reiterated that at the start of this draft, we are... Actually, we already have one of our points countered because VP banned out both Enigma and Beastmaster.
Yep, there we go. That is the Navi, the anti-Navi.
Yeah. Oh, and we go fast.
This was the replacement, I believe, in the series against Spirit. It is once again their replacement. Oh, did you say Courage?
Oh yeah. I got really angry because Kyle started talking.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh.
That's my screen. Sorry.
It was pretty funny.
That's good.
So, what are you saying, Kyle?
Go ahead,
No. You first.
I was a joke, Kyle. It's fine. I wasn't actually making fun of you.
More importantly,
summons. Tide is good against pushing. Boom. There you go. Go ahead.
Lion Tide.
But think about the draft construct that VP has. When they are second pick, it is always pos 4 into pos 3. Here, Navi, they banned out the Timbersaw as a key focal point for most of VP's season so far. And it feels interesting that Navi did kind of lean into picking supports that would be weak into a Tidehunter, because that's normally like plan B for Virtus Pro. We get to see Lion and Tidehunter as a pairing. Again, Alliance kind of popularized it in the EU division, but very strong combo, and Virtus Pro for sure will be comfortable. But Navi, they get their Chen, can set a high pace to again.
I mean, it's always a joy to watch like the top teams draft, because the things they do just make sense.
Yeah.
The curveballs are kind of, in a way, you see them coming. But in this case, Navi have demonstrated, okay, we have our first two options. Our third is Chen. Lion Tide is our replacement anytime Timbersaw isn't available. It's going to be all about the Chen based on the opening thus far. They get the CM in advance to cover it. You need to be really aggressive in the early game, because if you consider how strong these openers are after, what, 20, 30 minutes, it is heavily tilted towards VP.
It is, but also I feel like banning out Enigma Beastmaster is such an obvious thing to do that Navi...
Nobody's done it.
No, but Navi will absolutely have come up with a plan that is different to the Beastmaster and the Enigma for general.
They've had pretty much like a week to be able to get new heroes.
Yeah.
And if in scrims, they're actively going, you know what, guys, do you want to play Beast or Enigma today, General? And General goes, yes. Then they deserve to lose this series. They have to have new strategies in play. They shouldn't be surprised by this. So for sure, this isn't anything too unexpected.
If we constantly mention it, surely VP
I think General
knows
feels
it too.
it. You look at his Dota buff, there's like 2.5 heroes, because the other smidge of heroes is kind of one game each, varying win to loss.
What do you want to see him play, Purge?
Well, I think it's interesting that there are a crap load of carries banned out, but they're also banning out really strong laning cores, the Monkey King and the Morphling. So whatever does make it through won't necessarily be hard countered in the lane, which is very important here for Navi, considering that VP just got the other strongest off lane to make it through their drafts. So Navi's got to be careful.
I love the respect from Virtus Pro here. Of course, you take away 2 Tide counters and Morphling the Ursa, they have free time, but it's this Doom ban.
Yeah.
It's that iceberg mid-Doom factor.
Yeah.
It's the 4th pick potential as well, right? Because you're coming in here as first pick as Navi. So with Doom in the pool, you have this crazy combo where if it's another core Doom deals with, like I have loved watching them play when Iceberg is on this Doom. Like it's his hero. They go for the Alk. This is something we saw first picked in both NA and EU. Shocking that they get it here so late. The support duo really don't like playing against Alchemist either. High regen against these high burst heroes is quite tough. And in theory, Tidehunter is not great against it either, because you simply just don't do enough damage. Yeah, though, he can do damage.
Yeah, I think this is PA's way of covering stuff against Alchemist. If you think of carry-to-carry matchup, though, PA always deals with Alchemist throughout the entire game. What are you saying?
They banned Monkey themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
I think
They go for the Slark instead.
the key thing for this Monkey ban is simply, if Virtus Pro could, on 5th pick a casual Monkey King, the draft equally feels pretty strong to the likes of that.
Wouldn't you just take Monkey King here if you were Navi, though? Or you mean 5th? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying Navi are banning out before VP can pick it. But so I was quickly having a little check at General's pubs. He hasn't really touched Alchemist. On his main account, maybe he's got another Smurf account in play.
Could be Iceberg's hero.
Maybe. But yeah, I think I like the fact that they pivoted the Alk quickly away from carry. Simply, like I said earlier, PA dumpsters Alk in most of the game, unless you have a big net worth advantage and have a quick like SMY AC timing. PA does really well. So the Slark will have a free time into the likes of this Tide and this kind of weak lockdown that they're providing right now outside of Lion.
If it is offlane Alk, I don't like the current Ag solutions too much here.
Either.
It's not going to go on Chen probably unless somehow you can make your Ancients amazingly powerful, but his levels won't be enough. On Slark, you get double pounce, which can be good, but
10 seconds.
probably
I
not
would
sold.
love
Maybe
to
the
see.
stats.
No, but the thing here, guys, I think Alk and offlane, I think obviously early days is about Axe, but I think that the idea of the acid spray, the lane push, the quick farm, imagine if he didn't go for an Axe, he had a quick solar
But
crest
why
or a
pick
blink.
Alchemist then?
I think the idea of just producing, getting the gold from the jungle, right? You don't have a carry that wants to jungle. Like, you have to look at the theory behind it, right? And then, like, he's getting a 12 minutes, he's having 4k gold thrown into an Axe. Imagine if that was an active item. So you're kind of indirectly.
Yeah,
enabling
I
it.
got like I totally
Necro
agree,
buff.
but like
It's general, right? You get a stun, you get the
There we-
summer. It's a hell of a lot of pressure. It
That's
could
a
work.
Necro.
It
I
could
hope
work.
not. But I would
Yeah.
say
they have a Chen already.
for this though, I'd still like to see like a solar crest or just some kind of damage
Yeah.
enabler.
I'm with you.
Remaining.
I just think that you could do that with a lot of other offlaners.
No, of course. I'm not saying it's the best off lane, but it's
Okay.
like
They can do it
I'm
faster.
talking about the hand that they dealt
All
themselves
right,
here,
yeah.
Chief.
But
Like,
I
they
think
put themselves in his position.
You're just gonna get a mid here that can utilize Ags quite well.
That's true.
In addition,
Yeah, that's true.
Slark against Tide in the laning phase, in theory, should do quite well. And Ags on Slark is actually a pretty sick timing. Just for consider the stats. You know, you get so much more HP. That means you also get more HP regen when you're out of combat. In addition, you get 2 pounces. Against these supports, double the range as well.
Yep, it is going to be a pretty good timing.
But you do have to deal with Virtus Pro being the last pick overall.
True.
So your pick is going to be attempted to be countered because they need their last hero still as well. We need
They gotta
their
ban
PK
Viper,
hero.
right? You gotta ban Viper if you're VP.
Yeah, a casual
PA?
Viper here would be very,
Yeah.
very strong.
It's a sick Viper game right now.
I guess for them, for Navi, it's so many eggs in the basket of run at you, go forward, but with minimal stuns, right? You have Concoction, maybe a Centaur from Chen, and that's it, a root. Like, they don't really
it's
have
like
a lot.
at the same time, PA becomes like straight up worthless until Battle Fury and BKB. Otherwise, you get Atos, you get stunned. Any sort of CC and Nether Toxin is just game over for you.
Yeah, like Navi is 100% looking to play out their laning phase and collapse to get to the game from Invoker. Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, there's an eggs for your mid. I mean,
Where's the
kind of.
stuns for the Cataclysm?
I don't know.
It also
Stand
depends
still,
how many
VP.
levels. Like a Cataclysm is based on your Sunstrike, and usually people go Quas Wex, so the Cataclysm won't even be that good until later when he levels up more.
This is going to be
So-
an insane like 15-minute timing.
But
If their lanes go well,
I
they
just-
can get Roshan, you know.
It's into like superior initiation.
okay, don't worry,
Like
don't
Lion,
worry,
a PA that just hops on top of him. Like I hate playing Invoker into PA. That's like I've had Invoker players on my team tell me never pick this into PA ever again,
Yes,
please.
I agree. I think the outside of Slark, everyone hates playing into a PA that's already been revealed on pick 7. So for sure, VP, they're in such comfort right now. It's about the timing. Think about just how Alk offlane plays. If they hit the beat, hit these timings,
Sure.
collapse the lanes, then they set a high pace of the game. You mentioned Slark Ags. They can play off of the Invoker aggression. But if any of these lanes go bad, Invoker hates playing from behind. Alk hates playing from behind, just jungling. Like, Navi have given themselves like a high risk, high reward type lineup.
Maybe you hit a the thing I would say like, oh, this timing. I remember like the old OG with Miracle used to play Invoker Exort with this Forge Spirit Drums Treads build, hit a really aggressive tempo, but it was with heroes like Terrorblade and PL, not Slark.
That's I like Storm.
Love Storm.
We spent
GPK Storm.
no
Yeah.
lockdown. Woo.
It's a GPK. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Is there any surprises in terms of who's playing what? I don't think so.
Not really. I just think Virtus Pro 25, 30 minutes plus when PA has 2-3 items, Battle Fury Deso +1, Storm has Orchid. This is going to be a painful game for Navi to play. So it's all on them, strong lanes, get this Alk draft going. We'll see how volatile Alk offlane is. It either wins the game in 20 or it loses the game in like 10. Like it's that volatile.
What's your thoughts, Purge?
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess you can do fast eggs on Slark to double lockdown Storm, so they have some options here, but it just feels like VP should be able to be more aggressive. Roger's got to win a lane, always want to fight, can't feed. And Alk has to do something special. I don't think the fast eggs is going to win the game here.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle.
Yep, totally agree. I love this VP lineup. This is like what the meta is in my view. You have early team fight. You have a lot of natural steps in your timing, like where you get stronger and you're willing to fight. You don't really fall off. You're going to scale exponentially throughout the game. It feels like if you're Navi, you have to get early towers, probably mid tier 1, and then somehow avoid ravages. Slark really wins the game. 0 deaths on V2. Navi take this.
I just really hope that Navi, they've had a week to prepare for this. They've clearly been practicing the off lane. I hope there's some method behind the madness and they can actually execute to the level they need to. Because like Kyle just said, VP, they get so easily into the next game, unlike Navi. So again, hopefully Navi, they have something to really surprise us with.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here from my panelists on Navi to perform well in their first game here against VP. Let's see if they can do it and hear from our commentary team of OD Pixel and Fog.
Let's see indeed, as we get ourselves into game 1 of what should be a very exciting series between Navi and VP. Fog, we had some sort of concerns and hesitance from the panel here on with regards to Navi's draft. Do you sort of hold the same, or do you think Navi is again going to be able to show us the power of a lineup built around an offlane out that we have seen, of course, in other regions? EU, you know, they're doing this, and when it works, it really does.
I think Iceberg has to have like a flawless game as this Quaswex. I think if he goes Exort, I'm gonna just heavily lean toward VP instantly. I think this draft is so unbelievably greedy from Navi. Like you have 3 heroes that literally do almost nothing until they start getting items, and those are your 3 cores. I gotta say, they have no real team fight that comes together either. I feel like Iceberg, he really has to pop off on Quaswex, or I think VP's draft is just way stronger in all fronts.
Is it what? It's just to sort of the level that, from what you've seen from VP throughout this whole league, you would not expect this team to lose to this sort of greedy lineup.
So VP is more about like stability and more about like the easy to execute kind of stuff. Navi's, this looks like some crazy kind of like weird chess that's going on here. I'm not too sure what they're actually going for with where it all culminates together. Well, I look at VP's, I feel like it just is very nice synergistic draft. They have to worry a little bit about Slark if he gets out of control too, and he's able to get like his leashes, because the leash aspect versus PA Storm can be annoying. But I'm really just going to be staring at Iceberg like the entire game. Sure. A couple deaths on him, and I feel like they have no way to make plays. It's all revolving around Iceberg early game for him to have a good start, for them to actually be able to contest versus this really strong draft that hits an early timing. Sure, PA takes some time, but the other 4, they're going to be fighting. Like GPK is very active on his Storm.
I mean, and that's the thing, right? You know, in this mid lane up against the GPK Storm, this being the final pick for VP's lineup, and you think it was a very solid ending to their draft?
Yeah, I think it applies. It makes it really hard because they just don't have good lockdown. So it's like Iceberg has to do a lot of different things job, and the Slark has to connect pounces on 2 different heroes, it feels like, but he also has to address supports. We'll see how it ends up working out, because the one thing is that Alchemist in this early laning phase, he's a monster. You know, the acid spray push out, you're always able to get your farm, but PA is a hero that I feel like doesn't care. I don't think you mind getting acid sprayed at all. You're super high armor, you have good ways to last it under it anyway with Dagger. So yeah, I'm really confident. I really like what VP's.
We'll see how well Nightfall's able to farm against that pressure of that lane. Meanwhile, down on the bottom, are things going to be as happy for Vision on the Slark, or do you think he's going to have a bit of a tougher time?
I think he'll have a tough time. I think it's a very different matchup than it was before, especially with the backup of a hero like Lion.
A top lane.
I feel like that's... Ooh, Roger might...
It's going to be fun. The Fairy Fire will save him.
Fair share to save him, yeah. Close. But yeah, bottom, I feel like Tide actually applies good pressure to Slark, because unlike PA, no, PA has 5 armor. Slark, you have 3. You get gushed, you're negative. Lion, ranged hero, takes advantage of that pretty nicely. And you're not able to really build up your Essence Shift stacks as much as you'd like versus the Tide, even if you have CM. And CM is one of the better heroes to kind of stabilize these lanes, because it has 2 different aspects of holding a tanky hero to build up those stacks. But Lion Tide, we've seen how effective this strategy really is a lot of times.
Now, obviously very early, you know, just 2 minutes in, but already first few waves, we're seeing Nightfall up top, not really missing the CS, and in that mid lane, GPK already getting the edge as the Storm.
Yeah, and VTune, he started with the stick and Ring of Regen just because he knows the spam is going to come from the Gush, but you know that makes it a little bit harder because he has no stats, so then those hits, they hurt more. They do come out from the Lion. And we're watching Save, you know, with the boots, making sure to block the pull camp over and over again. We see that sentry down from Navi, be able to block it out as always want to fly. We'll survive. Close.
Both supports nearly dying there. Well, V-Tune jumping onto Save, but can't continue to chase. I just always want to fly down bottom, getting low. Roger had to TP out of that top lane. They made a move onto him.
I see PA not getting pressured by the Alk, and Alk's not... He's still getting the farm, at least. He's not dying, but he hasn't skilled the Grievel's Greed, which is a bit interesting to me.
He's going to get hit pretty hard here.
Needed it, and that's only level 1 Maledict, so it's not as bad, but...
Still, you know, he hasn't got regen on him. He's got no regen left on him in this lane. So he's going to be sitting pretty low. I mean, he has to get some out before he faces another sort of Maledict combo. He's got to bring a Bastion on the way out, but yeah, no health regen. So General's going to look to Roger. Okay, Roger's got at least a salve, so Roger will be able to head over and give that to General to keep him stuck in the lane.
And Iceberg was actually able to force GPK back. He got the mana burn. GPK looks like he still had health to stick around, but really didn't want to stay there with no mana, since he can't like force the wave under the Invoker. And hey, that's a great start for Iceberg. Going for the double null, paying off for him as he's able to catch up now. Runes will be coming out in a second. Iceberg, he's going to burn the mana again. GPK, see if he's able to guess the right.
Let's have a look. It's going to be a DD top. Roger. Troll and Iceberg. The laning on GPK. He'll be able to pick that up for himself. Which is very nice for him.
And we're seeing V-Tune's lane. It's starting to get better. He's gone for the 2 points into this Essence shift that we don't see too often, but makes sense versus Tidehunter. And he does have a significant amount of wand charges that have built up.
Top.
So he is starting to catch back up. Top General.
He's gone.
This time he's going down.
There's no chance for him here.
Suicide?
Oh, okay. All right. That's no, yeah. Well, there you go.
That's why I skilled it. That's why I got it instead of Grip Upgrade, right?
Bottom lane always want to fly.
They get the.
That'll be where we see the first blood. There's a little too much punch here between the two of them. When DM sets up with the gush, we'll see this deny again here. General. I mean, it's a good job he didn't find somewhere to throw it.
Yep.
As you know, it did look like he was trying to get it off, but then obviously not finding someone to pass it to actually works out in his favor.
He just raises the eyebrow though. He's like,
all right.
Okay, that's what I meant to do. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to throw it.
As we do see, yeah, mid and bottom stabilizing a little bit. Alchemist still struggling. And the fact that Nightfall is free farming up here, you know, I've seen a lot of times these Alchemists are able to pressure some of these heroes out. PA, it's not going to be the case. So he will have that free farm. And General has to be careful. He just stepped up again. Chen left him.
We'll get the concoction off this time. And he'll live. It's not going to be enough. Charges are plenty. Still not a whole lot of fun.
Cautious. Yeah, he has to be more careful when Roger's leaving him like that, though. He steps up. Like, if the cask or something, if they had mana for it, he was dead. They didn't actually have mana, so ends up surviving with that. GPK mid.
Let's see around the rune. He's going to get hit by the MP, but he's already done a lot of damage here to set up onto Iceberg.
Oh, and haste rune spawns. That's fortunate.
Yeah, that'll allow him to the lane. Also mean that Iceberg's going to have to be careful and takes the walk back to base. Isn't going to risk it in a lane against the hasted Storm.
1k gold advantage already for VP off of this laning start. Versus that Alchemist. Good sign for them here. General, yeah, he's really struggling. And, you know, just like the panel was talking about, I went through like all of General's history. I went through every single one of his games that he has played recently. No Alchemist. It's pretty much just been, as they said, Beastmaster Enigma and then a couple Mars in there. So it's a different strategy. And you have to practice this one for it to actually work out. Especially because like OG and stuff like this, we've seen it get in first pick. So hopefully they are aware of how to play with it and have a good idea of what they want to do with it. Because I'm still looking and I'm like, you know, these Ags are not the greatest. If it was an Invoker with
Slark Ags is pretty good. You know, I think Slark Ags is a little underrated.
I can agree, especially this game where it has two really good leash targets, right? Yeah. PA and Storm. That I can agree with.
But sure, whether it's good enough to sort of make you say, hey, we want to do the Alk off lane, get him giving out an Ags. You know, you got him, like, you're never seeing the Alk off lane played in a game where he doesn't get any Ags early at all, right? Or are we? Are we seeing teams try it on the off lane where it's not getting any Ags?
I feel like I saw one game where they didn't, but they had like really, really bad Ags games. I can't even remember. I think he was really farmed. I think he had like AC Abyssal, and he was pretty much the carry from the off lane. But I don't remember which game it was.
Well, I don't. Well, so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen this game.
No, doesn't feel like it. As bottom, they bring the support down. They know they can move Kingslayer down here because the PA is not getting pressured Nightfall. So now they start actually applying pressure onto the Slark lane. V-Tune might have to move soon.
Yeah, he is going to be going the Diffusal BKB route. So wanting to fight this game, V-Tune. And honestly, if he's going for that sort of route, then the Aghanims is very beneficial. Yeah. And yeah, he's queuing it up, and it must be. I don't think you're giving this out to anyone else. You're giving it to the Slark. I mean, the 2 pounces and of course the stats are going to be very beneficial for him.
Always want to fly again. He just TP'd out to this outpost, and the 2 supports are there, and he's just dead. Yeah, Nightfall just continues to free farm top. So yeah, they're doing a good job here at VP of applying the pressure, and Navi haven't been able to find a way to actually capitalize and respond to it at all. GPK even swinging over to meet with his 2 supports and farm the enemy jungle. Now we're going to see Iceberg make the move. He wants to try to get this tower top, try to slow down Nightfall. I mean, it's a solo PA farming top versus 2 heroes.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, they get his courier.
Oh, they did.
Nightfall was hovering it around there. Probably. Oh no, he already had the Ring of Health actually. He's just waiting for the money for the Void Stone. I won't be able to get it out.
Does show Iceberg making the move though, so he will be able to be protected there. And Iceberg, he's gone for, okay, so he's committing. Wow, the 4th point in cost even too. Usually you only see like the 3rd point, and then you max out the Wex and you start getting some Exort. But he's going really in on the cost. We're seeing the supports as well as GPK moving top.
The opening onto Roger. Now settle for him.
Iceberg.
Straight in they go. Iceberg, can he do anything to help out? And he's going to be able to burn the mana of GPK. And he may have just made save Roger here, as Roger will manage to back off and isn't going to quite tick out. So Roger saved here by Iceberg turning up.
Now General gets a stun. Max acid spray on to save, so he's very negative on that armor, but they just poke him and run away. Nice little counter gank though. At least they don't lose a hero, and Iceberg is starting to make some moves. Unfortunately, does not get himself in.
We'll take that.
In Arcane Rune, I wonder if Jet
This'll come in handy.
to take it himself. Temptation would have been to lend it over to Iceberg, and not be the case.
It's time to farm the triangle. Time to get that Ags online, and they're starting to, get away with the greed. VP. Wondering what their next move is going to be. Probably looking to go down bottom, at least look to pressure this tower, as they haven't gotten a hit on it at all yet. They're going to smoke even the 3 in the mid also down bottom. That would be a heavy commitment to really go for this tower. That would open the map up nicely for Navi. They're actually not going to. Save's just going to run down there, meet the tide in the PA. Navi, will they defend this? I don't know. It's up to General. He does have that Arcane Rune, so maybe he will think about it, but it's tough to go to the Tides lane.
We'll see Navi try and hold on to this tower.
Yep.
I'll let this one go. That'll be the mech done for Tide. Iceberg at least able to put the pressure on in the mid. Top lane starting to push tier 1 there. More money for Nightfall though, just a sword away from the Battle Fury.
It's going to be so early on, as he's just completely rushed it. This game, just the treads, just the Blightstone in between with a little wand action. Because now they swing mid. They still have that Ravage, so DM, where he goes, the team goes. Navi, but can they set up for this? Their team fight, it's just extremely lackluster. The real only aspect of team fight they have is going to be coming from that Invoker. So it is really hard for them to actually run into any of these VP fights, but they're going to try here. They're smoking. They got to get a really good EMP onto like the Tide Hunter in particular, so that he might struggle with the mana. 400 burn, so he will still have mana for Ravage, and his Arcanes are up in 10 seconds. I actually like the DM when Arcanes this set out versus the Quas Wex. You always want to have at least one pair.
Absolutely, yeah. I guess they can't really fit in a second on anyone. Maybe actually no, that's not true. Maybe Kingslayer will get one.
Maybe
eventually.
Kingslayer.
Yeah, I think
maybe,
you're right. I think more than what you ideally at least 2. Really. Invoker, especially when you have heroes that's so reliant on it, and hit 2 heroes as well. This Tide and the PA who don't large of a mana pool that are going to want to be jumping around the fight. A lot of abilities that they need to be spamming.
So now the question is Navi happy with this, right? You know, they're getting their Alchemist.
I think they probably are.
Getting away with the green.
You know what I mean?
But you're also playing into the hands of a Tide and a PA. And PA is going to get battle.
Sure.
They're going to have this crazy scaling. So it's just, you know, it just comes down to it. Is are they going to be able to execute inside of the team fights? Because they do lack that.
I think the thing is really for Navi, you know, obviously have this idea with their draft. I don't think they would have expected anything more out of these open.
I could agree.
I don't think they were thinking, well, we're going to get loads of kills in the laning stage. You know, they obviously have a plan here, and I don't think that they'll be feeling that what they have in mind is not going to be achievable with this sort of slow start. You know, they're going to know that the Ags, you know, it is done. We'll see it get passed over to Vichu.
And he's got a defusal. They've got a,
yeah,
I mean, they have a really
strong.
good, strong timing here. He is 1600 HP, too.
Let's see what he does with it.
Let's see if he can catch on to these squishies. Let's see if VP will prepare. They have Orchid. So V2 has to be a little cautious with his Dark Packs in particular.
I mean, if he catches the PA Storm, and he's in, and he's got it. The second pounce will connect. Sunstrike coming down, but Nightfall's off to the side. They've got a concoction coming in, but Nightfall, he's back underneath the tower. They can't quite finish off the kill, and now VP, they've got the chance to turn. Gush and a death ward takes down the CM. V-Tune, he's been hexed. They're going to jump in. They've got the pullback with the Vortex. V-Tune's got to get out. He'll step out to the side. DM, his mana's been burnt. He's got nothing to offer, and now V-Tune, he's going back in. They jump over towards the Tide, and Navi will get away with getting a kill at the end of it all. Sure, they lose the CM, but V-Tune will manage to pick up DM's life.
Very clutch tornado from Iceberg coming in. I think it was mid-animation on that Tide Hunter Ravage. That would have likely been the demise there for V-Tune. Perfect play there. Perfect invasion. They don't get the PA, but at least they do get something. Unfortunately, they don't get like a Ravage out too, but we're going to see that again as...
Yeah, I mean...
and we're going to watch this. Yeah, watch this. The tornado is super clutch. I really think this would have been super problematic for Navi if he didn't connect it here. We see him walking up. V-Tune gets connected, and then watch this tornado. DM tries, but gets hit.
He would have been dead for sure. His Dark Pack was on cooldown. They would have had him, but a good disengagement. Of course, the power of the Ags. V-Tune, as quickly as he's out, he's able to get straight back in, and they get themselves the core kill. And this, you know, this is exactly what Navi want to be doing, right? You boosted your Slark to the point where he's got this Ags and Diffusal 15 minutes in. You got to look for this sort of action. You've got to try and fight into the face of Nightfall. But with the Battle Fury alone, needs time. Needs to at least get that start after the Battle Fury before the PA is going to be really happy with getting involved in a fight that Navi's bringing to them.
Yeah, I actually want to see them like pass V-Tune some sentries, give him some observers. Let this Slark just be like the Charger. Let him just get you all this information, get into the backline, cause some havoc. Yeah. Really start to slow down VP so that they can't just sit back with PA. And that's a 3k gold lead. They're actually going to look to set up for the Roche. Okay. They have this medallion, they have all these Chen creeps.
I mean, they're looking to poke around it. Especially with Ravage still up.
They see DM. He's a bit isolated.
Vichu's going to start things off.
His mana pool.
As they're moving in onto him, it's about to get taken away from him. He's out of mana.
GPK went Arcanes as well.
I think it makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
I think you really do want as much as you can get here against this Quasworks Invoker. And especially against the Diffusal Slark as well.
Yep, and now they've really hurt DM a lot. They saw him isolated for a second there. They just poke him to remove that mana, and now it's a free Roche for them. So now this is looking very similar to what OG did with this strategy too. You know, 13, 16 minutes, they get this 1 or 2 item timing, get an Aegis, get an advantage, and try to press it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. You know, so far, this is exactly what Navi planned to achieve, right? 60 minutes, getting the Aegis, getting the Roshan, having V-Tune in this position where he is very strong, especially when he gets the BKB done after this Diffusal Axe. He's going to be able to set up kills across the map. He's chasing down Save. Lovely little juke of the stun. He's got another pounce charge in a second. Does he want to go for it? Oh, he does. Straight underneath the tower, but Save has got stick charges. V-Tune won't be able to finish the kill, so he'll back off.
Cheeky mana drain. They're doing, this is exactly how Navi needs to be played, though. Just keep starting to get VP out, at least on the back foot. VP, though, they're responding accordingly. You know, the supports, they're getting pressured. They're having to kind of run away and not really do much of anything. Same with DM, but Nightfall and GPK are still farming. They are pushing out these side lanes. GPK even going to look to bait with an illusion. He pops that one out, starts sending it toward the jungle. Not under any vision, though. But maybe expecting them to make a smoke rotation toward him top.
But for VP, the way that Navi plays here is If they do overextend, do get caught in a Ravage and a turnaround's there from VP, this PA cleans up. You know, the game could quickly get very difficult for Navi. Yep. They've got to make sure that each of these moves is pretty flawless and that Vichun always comes out on top. He's going to get the jump in. They'll get themselves Kingslayer. DM's going to drop the Ravage. It's out onto Iceberg. They'll take out the Invoker. Now with the Orchid onto Always Want to Fly, they're going to look for more. Vichun, does he want to get back in on this? They've lost 2 Navi. Vichun's going to try and attempt to keep on fighting. He's looking towards the PA. Nightfall easily able to jump off to the side. As this time VP around the Ravage, they will be able to punch back and push back Navi.
Vichun really wanted to try to go for more there, but yeah, can't without the control of his Invoker or his CM. And General wasn't there. General is trying to farm up, you know, not going for that Aghanim's for the Invoker. I actually like that he's going Solar Crest, more things to enable the Slark. Yeah. Invoker's not ready for Ags. He needs more time. He's got 2 points in Egg Sword.
I know, for sure, yeah. And then with the Solar Crest and the Alacrity, they're going to have lots of ways to just allow Vichun to pop off in these fights.
Still seeing Nightfall pretty close, getting close to that Slark. You know, he's got the Deso already finished up, so he is extremely strong. They don't have Ravage right now, but we're still seeing this PA is getting away with almost everything. These timings are crazy. 18 minutes. It's very early. Vichun, he's under ward vision. He's aware of that when he is pinging it.
Take that down.
Got to keep playing these invasive plays. And right now, too, no Ravage. I really want them to just hunt for something. They do see some information with bottom ward, so immediately TP. They see the supports. Vichun, get active. Iceberg even going to connect. I like this move a lot. Should be able to net them at least 1 kill. They want the big one, though. They actually want Nightfall.
They got the damage. He's got save by his side, so Nightfall will be able to jump to safety. Iceberg's able to deal with Kingslayer on his own. Let's see if Vichun's able to dive in deep for this. He's looking for the Lion. Tornado follow-up. Nightfall, he's out of here.
He just ditches.
This should be a dead Lion, though. Vichun able to finish off save. Himself another stack of the permanent essence shift over towards mid. General able to find a target in time with the concoction. He's out into the shadows.
Navi's doing a great job with all this aggressive vision. Look at the wards that they've gotten down. There's literally no vision right now from VP because this Slark is able to snowball like this. He's able to take out all the vision. They're able to play around their deep aggressive vision and watch the supports and just play around it. That's how we see that TP happening bottom. B2 getting those kills and getting close to BKB. So he'll have the coverage versus Ravage versus Orchid pretty decently. And versus those supports, he will be able to run rampant in the back lines. And even the Solar Crest now. So he's very enabled. DM. Ravage is still down.
There we go. That's what Vichun can do. Does get held back. Stun from save.
40 seconds on Aegis. BP wants to wait. They could definitely look to fight around that timing, though. They still are. I mean, the PA is just still very strong. He will be able to erase like 3 of the heroes quite easily. Even the Invoker, if they get on top of Iceberg, he's just dead. So Navi still has to approach these fights quite carefully. And oh, look at General. He's getting the Berserk potion. This is the first time I'm gonna get to see it.
I mean, it's all about buffing the Slark, right?
All about the Slark.
And what numbers have we got from the Berserk potion?
Just 50 attack speed for 10 seconds and a 400 heal. Well, 40 per second for 10. And a basic dispel.
That's
so that'll
nice.
be able to cover him maybe versus some Orchids or some annoying little things too if his Dark Pact isn't. As Navi, Aegis is reclaimed. They're swinging to find a fight.
Oh, hello.
Nice tornado.
He's going to be able to jump out of the MP, though.
Yeah. BP's going to smoke themselves, look for a wraparound. They know the Aegis isn't there. BKB's done on Vtune, though. And they did see that smoke. You know, they have that ward still that got them the kills earlier on the 2 supports. So we'll watch. Able to read at least the movements from VP for the moment. Trying to get the high ground here again. A little scared to walk up immediately, but they will.
Get the angle.
Nightfall.
Vichun doesn't want to go. He's a little suspicious of a trap being set, and it is. VP waiting behind.
Top tower is under attack.
Save has Blink Dagger too on the line, so if they do connect a Ravage, he will have the follow-up either for that Invoker or that Slark. And the Invoker and the Slark really feel like it's 90% of Navi. The other 2 heroes just the other 3 heroes kind of feel like fodder for the most part. Really does have to be every Ravage, as there's still no Blink Dagger on DM. He's very close. He's about to be finished. They're even going to TP out of top, playing very cautious. GPK. Oh my god, that was close.
He nearly found it. Really keeping GPK on his toes there. Catching him on the way out.
Nightfall almost has his BKB. He's almost got his big time.
He does.
Battle Fury, SO, BKB. They're even feeding him tomes. So they're really just trying to enable this PA as much as possible, up to 17 now. If he has BKB, the control's not going to be there for him. And then he can jump from target to target in the backline himself, too.
Yeah.
And they do have double blink, so they have double initiations on VP, while Navi, they have to just rely on the Slark jumping into the backlines. And a little bit tougher for Navi to get the initiations, unless they find DM in the front.
DM. Now the Sunstrike. So now onto V-Tune. We can see GPK go straight for the backlines. He's looking for always want to fly, but it's not enough damage to burst through the CM. V-Tune, he's on a wall to save. The mech's popped, but it won't keep save alive. The Lion, they lose nothing themselves. They do have to put that BKB charge from V-Tune to get the kill.
And now DM does have blink, so he shouldn't get caught in those situations where he's in the front line anymore. V-Tune. Just use the Dark Pact. Oh my goodness, that was scary for a sec going under tower.
He's a little
But
hesitant
BP,
now. Yeah.
they're waiting for the BKB. They're so close to it before they really do jump for that full out committed engagement. 6K advantage already now for Navi, so shabby. Experience still leading VP. Still some good stuff coming out for them. And V-Tune, he is getting ready for that next item, getting ready for that MKB for the PA, but now VP's hit their timing. Now they're going to look to hit real hard with this big team fight, and the PA is now much stronger. About to hit 18, though. Maybe they want to wait for Nightfall to kill this creep wave. He will, so now he's 18. We've got the level 3 crit online.
All right.
Middle tower is
I mean,
under
a one fight here will probably mean Roshan as well.
Could even mean much more than that. It really feels super impactful for this next one.
Iceberg!
For VP.
Oh, he
Iceberg.
steps up and they're ready. Immediately making the jump on him. Iceberg is going to get taken out. They throw everything out onto the Invoker and Iceberg's gone.
A big hit around the bounty runes too. They still have this control here. Navi, they'll swing over to the right side, but look at VP. They know they're swinging.
Radiant are scanning.
Nightfall, gonna find always want to fly. Can they go for
V-Tune's
V-Tune?
trying
though?
to
The
fight.
party is here.
V-Tune's going for this. He's going for Kingslayer, and he's not going to quite get it. He's now got to back off, jumps down into the river. Dagger to set up on the always want to fly. They jump in, they find the CM. GPK, he is out of mana completely, but the backup's there as DM comes in with a Ravage to lock down General. VP hitting back as Navi caught, sort of separated there, losing Iceberg over their side of the map, and then VP with that very quick move to make sure that Navi wasn't able to split off and do something elsewhere.
They know how strong their team fight really is. They want to try to force a roast right now, but they aren't really healthy enough to swing over there. Now Navi, there's going to be no Ravage for some time, and V-Tune, he's definitely feeling a bit strong. Iceberg, though, he has to be so careful for his positioning walking into these high grounds.
Okay. Done.
Because Navi try to force. I think they should try to force the roast
There's no
around this
Ravage.
timing. Around Ravage, yeah.
No.
I think Navi has to try to. They are
I
under
think they
vision.
can
They'll
as
be able
well.
to get
They,
the D ward.
Solar Crest, Lacatino, they can hit this pretty
Berserk potion, yeah.
pretty
everything.
well. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah,
DP's
bit
coming.
of tankiness is giving him that HP regen if they want to go
Yep.
for Roche. They're going to try for a kill first. As DM, scout out into the pit. Navi's already out. They're coming in with a long wraparound here. Will
V-Tune?
VP expect this sort of angle? V-Tune, he's going to jump in. The easy kills first. He commits with the BKB, jumps in onto Kingslayer, the Witch Doctor down. Over towards the
Get
side,
Iceberg.
GPK. He's coming in with the BKB. He's onto Iceberg. DM jumps in with the Anchor Smash. Can they bring down Iceberg in time? Iceberg's still alive. He's off to the side, but they've got detection. They take him out through the Ghost Walk. V-Tune turning over towards GPK, but he's back over towards the Tier 2 tower. Now he's looking towards DM. V-Tune locking down onto the Tide. As V-Tune, he'll be able to finish off the Tide Hunter. Triple kill for him. Mass buybacks coming out from VP, though, as they jump in with a Hex, but the Dark Pact, it was already off, and V-Tune, he's well out of it. He's still got pounces to work with. They can't catch him. And he's even thinking about maybe jumping back in if one of them pushes out alone, as that was, a couple of buybacks expended there from VP to try and keep the action going. Nightfall, he's hunting.
They're really understanding how fragile Iceberg is, though, with this build. The Witchblade into Spirit Vessel, he's taking it's stalled his BKB out a lot now. They just full commit onto him, and they're fortunate to at least get a triple kill, but they have to
V-Tune!
run away immediately. As V2 now,
Look what he's found here. He's burning them out, and GPK's only got a little bit left. He's going to have another... If he can find the angle, V-Tune, does he want to go for it? He certainly does. He's going to be able to get in. On top of the Storm Spirit, he's found GPK. As GPK down for 50. V-Tune's back out. Nightfall, Kingslayer, and DM, they're on their way over. But they can't do anything about this slug right now, especially with Shadow Dance being back up in 10 seconds. Is BKB still good to go? V-Tune continuing to keep his game very much flawless. 8-0-0 on the slug. Now with this draft, with these builds, Navi, they're putting everything onto the shoulders of V-Tune's slug. And so far, it is working. V-Tune's carrying them strong.
And now he's into Roche. There is a Ravage up, though. They've got 20 seconds till the Storm. They might be able to kill it in time. It dies incredibly quick. Haven't quite committed the Berserk Potion yet. Perhaps saving that for a basic Dispel. As we've seen these hexes and stuff be a little problematic for V-Tune. And they should be able to get it. 10 seconds. Not dying quick enough.
Oh, VP. Can they make the jump in time? V-Tune in general, they're getting out of the pit. DM, he's going to jump in, but there's no one to be found inside of the pit. They're already out to the edges of it.
Shadow Dance.
It's an early ult, but it's enough to allow him to get in, take down Kingslayer. GPK with a big sip right in the middle, looking towards General, but the BKB's around. Ravage catches the General Alchemist, he catches Roger's Chen. Now they'll turn their attention towards V-Tune, as V-Tune's, he's trying to escape this. GPK's chasing. GPK pretty much out of mana, though. Nightfall tries to jump over to close the gap. Always want to fly, he's got to keep himself hidden here. Stray Dagger would take him out. And General's brought back for this, as they want to fight around the pit. They know it's still a little hard for GPK to do a whole lot, as he's waiting for his mana to regen. And Iceberg, he's got the BKB ready for this.
Yeah, and Nightfall's feeling very strong. At level 21, he's got the Orb of Destruction on top of the Basher now, too. A lot of these heroes just will get instantly disintegrated in the fights. General has to be careful now with his positioning, too, after using this buyback. V-Tune, he's about to have MKB, so he'll have ways to actually be able to address Nightfall in the fight soon.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
DM? He was just trying to keep lookout around the pit. Buys time for Nightfall to jump in onto Iceberg. Iceberg, he's going to get the Ghost Walk off, but the finger, they find him, they pop the dust, they burst him down. Now Nightfall turns over towards Always Want to Fly. They get General. They've got the Hex, they've got the lockdown on a V-Tune, they've got the chain control as well, as Nightfall gets the triple kill. And that sort of fight there was pretty much Navi's worst nightmare in a game like this, where they had to keep the momentum, keep V-Tune's game clean as possible. But VP, they're finding the opportunity here. Iceberg, you see, had the BKB, not wanting to pop it to reveal himself from the invis. But of course, they had the detection and save quick with the burst, left no opportunity for Iceberg to change his mind and decide he needed to pop it.
Man, it's save coming in clutch so many times. And I've been watching this line sitting in the back lines. He's literally just clicking on V-Tune and just waiting to see for dark packs, waiting for to see these like connections where he can get the stuns. Has now a big hit. VP, they've got the Aegis.
And that sort of swing there, that is really...
breaks them.
It is the swing that you sort of have to ask yourself, this strat that Navi has gone for, can it deal with that sort of turnaround in a game against a very farmed Storm and a very farmed PA?
And I was really worried for Iceberg in this game. You know, this Invoker, very fragile hero. He's just being focused every single time. VP understands he's the team fight. He's everything when it comes down to Navi's actual control for the Slark to go crazy. And they're just addressing him in every single one of these situations. V-Tune's still able to pop off in most of them, 9-1, but Iceberg is not able to get almost anything. 1, 4, and 5. VP really understanding how to take the fights. And now Aegis and Chi on these two heroes, I don't know how Navi is able to deal with the PA. They couldn't deal with him before, and now he's just got a full another set of items finished.
Yeah, they're ready to go into the base. VP know after that fight that they're in a very strong position.
And that was without Ravage. That was DM kind of just baiting them pre-Ravage. Now he has Spider Legs climbing into the base with the Ravage available. Heroes are going to die real quick.
See how
He does
Navi
connect on
start.
pretty much anybody.
The jump in V-Tune, he's having to put the BKB. GPK is in on the backlines. Nightfall jumps over the Ravage. They're able to get the three of them. General, Roger, and Always Want to Fly all caught out there by the jump from DM as the three of them fall and no buybacks on them. As VP have now easily got the space to take this bottom tier 3 and almost certainly more.
Just deleting heroes at this point. Level 24 PA they've hit all of their timings and they've taken such good fights. And now they're going to back up. They're going to give some respect to Navi, even though now they've taken such a commanding lead in this game. Only says 6K, but it feels like it's way more than that now.
Perfect jump
See
from
this
the trees there.
Yeah.
With his position, Navi not prepared for him to already be close enough to get that sort of deep jump at the angle that he did. And now really paying the price here, Navi. Down 6K.
And now they can't really go out because they just can't. They can't fight versus this at all. Like there's too much map control for VP. Now it's a DD on the PA too. Even without Ravage, the fights just they're not there. This Clark, he can't actually jump into the backlines and kill a hero immediately or anything like that.
They're gonna try and come out with the smoke.
Let's see.
See if they can do something whilst the Ravage is down. V-Tune, can he find his target? He wants to look for the squishies first, ideally. But, you know, really, they want to get save as well. Already save. He's able to get the job. He's in with a Hex save.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. There's the tip. He knows. A perfect jump from save, and it is over. They'll call it. As VP will take this game one. Navi, they came in with a strat. It looked good, but it had to be perfect. And pulling off perfection against VP is rather a challenging ordeal. That one fight really where it all crumbled.
to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Pros turn to pick. Navi's turn to pick.
Lion.
Virtus Pros Navi.
Timber saw.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Game 2 of Navi versus Virtus Pro coming your way here. You're watching ESL One powered by Intel. And of course, this is the upper division of the Eastern European DPC League. Better yet, this is the final series of the season. Yes, there will be tiebreakers, but they're like somewhat outside the season. This is the final scheduled series outside the season, and we're well into the draft of this second game. We're joined by Purge, Kyle, Tigov here as well, and the Phoenix Ursa coming out from Navi as they have to try something else again, because again, the Beastmaster Enigma is banned, Kyle.
Well, I think more importantly, VP aren't changing anything. They are still using the same formula, and thus far, fortunately for Navi, their formulas thus were Enigma and Beastmaster. They're still gone.
Yeah.
You can pick Lion and an offlaner all day if you're VP, and nobody's been able to beat it in this entire region.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing here is simply that VP are first pick in this game, but like you said, they still have the same formula for into offlane, and they keep the same bans. They're not allowing General to play on his most comfortable heroes, the Beastmaster and Enigma. And I don't know if Navi was really ready for an instant Timbersaw on kind of a first pick scenario. Therefore, they go for this Ursa, and we just saw on the player cam when the Ursa was picked, DM, he was chuckling, because Ursa into Timber is a very 50-50 matchup, because Timber can go Timber Chain and apply pressure, but then Ursa, if he gets a good start with correct supports, he can shut down a Timber.
The nerfs to Fury Swords as well. They're not nearly as strong level 1, so it's not really the same disparity. In addition, you have so much damage threat on Timber, plus you can always get away. There's no stun in this lane if there's a Phoenix and Ursa against Timber.
Exactly.
What do you think so far, Purge?
Yeah, the Phoenix doesn't give me a huge amount of confidence for sure, because it's not going to be easy to keep Timber around if that does end up being your 5 position hero. It could still be 4 though, it's flexible, but I just can't help but feel confident with Save's line. It's insanely good.
Yeah.
Even if he gets a little pressure in lane, he always gets Blink Dagger at a really good time. He uses his skills impeccably every single fight. It just doesn't feel like a line when he plays it. He's just like unkillable, and his disables are always in the right place.
Yeah, I wanted to actually shout him out because, you know, this is a guy I really hadn't heard of until he started playing with this VP lineup. That was an incredible performance. That replay of him avoiding the Slark, surviving, like he was 3K net worth against 12K and took 3 hits from Slark, and he had Axe Diffusal. Like, that's kind of nuts. Also consider he's hitting his hero first pick every game.
This is also the only team that at the start of the season, like 6 weeks ago, they were already picking Lion. They had already identified, hey, this hero good, save on it, even better.
Yep. Yeah, I think Fogg mentioned it beautifully in the cast. Is the idea of discipline that you have on position 4. When you have the stun on your team, you need to know who and why you're stunning. And some teams, players can kind of get a little bit lost in the game. But no, Save, he consistently just shows exactly why he needs to initiate.
Another excellent 4 and offlaner, Zai. The most important thing you need in Dota 2 to succeed is patience. And I believe Save definitely demonstrates that. Love their second phase bans as well in these top tier matches. They're never boring. Makes total sense. You ban the Iceberg Doom. It's the hero he's really looked the best on so far in this league. And then Mars Tide. You already have your offlaner. Take out 2 of really the only tier S remaining in the pool.
What's General gonna play?
I don't know.
The interesting thing here is VP, they're not looking at the hero matchups, because when you have Timbersaw, naturally you don't really care too much about a Mars or a Tidehunter. But like you said, it's maybe more towards the comfort of general. Like even those heroes would be hard countered by a Timbersaw, what they bring to the game is still simple. You know, if you arena X hero, they should die. If you ravage a hero, they die. If not next to the Timbersaw.
And unfortunately for General, one of his best is just so nerfed. I don't know if you could play it, but a Bat Rider looks really nice in a game against Timber.
But does it still with the nerf?
I think an offlane bat still can come into play. I think it's only mid bat that can feel it the most because of the kind of the 1v1 duel of the CS. But in the offlane, if you have the correct support to enable you in that kind of CSing department, it for sure could still be viable.
The only other offlaner that he's played this season in the upper division has been Void Spirit. Other than the Alchemist, obviously.
Yeah, we can write that off.
I like the Disruptor here. Definitely gives some kill potential potentially against Timber. Disable like combo potential later on is going to be their team fight's excellent. They can definitely kill Save with Disruptor as well. He's pretty squishy, but glimpse him back into a kinetic field, Ursa should be able to kill him, I assume. So I kind of like that as a pivot here.
When we were talking about the Ursa versus Timbersaw and the chuckle that we saw VP have, it was said that Ursa, with the right support duo, would be able to do good. Is this a right support duo to do well against a Timber in lane?
Disruptor Ursa? Yeah, it's one of the better ones, but that's a clock off lane. That's one of the general heroes we're waiting for. Which means we're saving Iceberg's hero for last.
Hello?
What?
Wait, Oracle, is this a Timbersaw? Oh, no, Timbersaw. Huskar incoming?
No,
No, it's
because you already have the Lion and the Oracle.
Just want to get a car.
Maybe it's a mid. No, I'm joking.
Me and T were talking about this backstage, but Iceberg's got to step up if you're going to see Navi win a game here. They're now giving him last pick, and honestly, he's just got to perform. GPK didn't make mistakes. You know, Iceberg made a couple, and that's going to be a disparity here. Like the Monkey King, you know, Oracle MK, if you time it right, and I believe GPK can play it, this will likely be his hero.
Yeah.
You can mischief the damage from Oracle ult popping and survive basically everything.
But the key thing here is, wait, Gun Purge?
Does that actually work?
That actually works.
Sure.
Yeah. So a key thing here is from the previous game when Slark was jumping these supports, they had to utilize buybacks to really keep themselves in the fights. In this game, because of the Monkey King, especially against Ursa, Clock, and these type of heroes, you just have to stand inside Wukongs. You know, your Monkey will indirectly cover your supports now, enabling your fight. And then Timbersaw, he's the hero that's going to be baiting out the fights. But no, I love the fact that Navi are really going back to their kind of big comfort heroes for their players, and it's complete aggression. Like, if they can overwhelm their opponent, it's like a team fight from VP. It is Save and Monkey King versus the world right now.
And now you ban the two best mixed damage mids left in the pool that could pretty much play the carry and tower pressure for Iceberg. SF first, probably Death Prophet next, and then I just don't know what you take. Again, they're forcing Navi under these like sub-comfort heroes, specifically the people I think you'd want to target, Iceberg and General.
And the Monkey King pick is so good here too, because it just protects you against so many mid heroes that your opponents might pick too. So just feels like a great outdraft here so far from VP.
I mean, it helps a lot. I'm telling you, this T-Gov was onto something. But when you go Lion plus Timber Tide, it's really easy to draft from there.
You don't have to think about anything. You just pick. And the best thing is you also see one hero, especially because your first pick. Like, the key thing here is underneath the heroes, you see the pick, right? First, second, third, etc. But when you are first pick because of the Lion, you get to react to the third hero of Navi's draft. So that's where it is just so comfortable drafting in this kind of style.
Don't Navi have like lane push issues? Because clock as a 3 typically isn't done because you don't sit in the lane much. You feel like you need to move around to be effective.
Ooh.
But if he does so, who's going to replace his lane push? A Rocket player does it, but
Hear me out.
We're listening.
Tinker.
It's
Sure. I have a
tons
soft
of
spot for
vision.
the hero.
Tons of vision. It activates your Disruptor clock. You don't really need as much damage. They ban out Puck. Telling you, that tells me something. Death Prophet's the easy choice, but I agree with Purge because you have issues with lane shoving, you have issues with your late game damage output, and whenever you have like no wave clear and your team fight's a bit weaker, I just feel like the game gets really hard. I guess the team fight's fine, but
They could probably just pivot away from that and just go for like a Lycan or something. There's only a Timbersaw as your
it's a
answer.
Monkey King Timbersaw.
Yeah, but like, you just run through. You got the Ursa to cover you. It's the idea of just but Navi have clearly shown that they do not care too much about scaling and just trying to get out of the game at a certain time or like a win
they
condition.
took it from them. VP, they're in their head. However,
This is a very good Oracle game now. Yeah,
yes,
don't like him.
that is perfect.
Yeah.
That is like, because that is the hero Navi want
No,
in this spot based on their draft history.
Pugner's the lad.
Oh, yuck.
It's all right.
You're just going to die.
To
you
what?
get Yols
You
in the
kill
air
them
and
all.
you die.
You kill the DP pre-yours. It actually is a very good matchup. It's not been played too much, but it destroys the DP and the idea of the game and pacing. You mentioned mixed
this is
damage.
not Thompson playing here today.
Yeah, but Iceberg,
I would-
go on, Purge.
I would like Pugna if we knew that like Ursa isn't farming Battle Fear on the back of that. 'Cause I feel like it might be a little too slow.
Yep.
It doesn't like, I don't know, like it'll be good, but I feel like you would need to like, crush the early game, pressure like crazy with your carry being semi-involved, and Ursa's not going to want to do that.
Agreed. If it was like a lone druid, even like something like weird like a Naga Siren, where you either could double down on pressure or just play as 4 really aggressively with this crazy hyper carry that at some point would turn things for you. But you can't really pick an illusion core in this game right now.
No, you can't pick the spirits that also jump the backline as well because DP covers you. So
Tinker, dude.
Do they have to hit the back line? Because between like Clockwork and Glimpse and stuff, I feel like they can pick
That's
people
true.
off in lanes.
You got to
2
pick
seconds.
now.
Okay.
Queen of Pain.
They go for a comfort Iceberg here, the Queen of Pain. It's not as dominant as before because Death Prophet just, buy some regen, life's pretty good. But it just puts Navi in that position of aggression. Like game 1, they're going to have these lanes. They're going to try and collapse the map. But fundamentally, they cannot
just
make...
chill.
Not impressed.
Yeah, they're not impressed with that last pick at all.
They can't make these positional errors on Navi where they send one hero to one side, fight on another. And I think, just kind of the macro gameplay from Navi has to be so much better from game 1. They looked somewhat outclassed.
What do you think with the final 10 heroes on the board, Purge?
I kind of like Navi's stuff because I do see their ability to go around getting pickoffs, but it's going to require always want to fly to not die too much in lane. He classically dies a lot on Disruptor in the laning stage to stabilize his carry. That could hurt their mid-game timings. I just feel like VP's draft looks so much easier to execute at all stages of the game, so I think VP.
All right, thank you so much. Come back to you at the end of the game.
They somehow have like all the answers. You have Oracle in the safe lane with your Monkey King. It's a Phoenix Clock. W prevents all damage.
It's only because of the heroes that Navi pick aren't like these S tier meta heroes, right?
Yeah.
They're going for the Phoenix 5. They're going for the off lane clock. It's like, but these are comfort heroes. Like
This is what holds Navi back, though, because these are
course,
comfort
of
heroes. I'm not saying they're like lost, but it's an 80-20 outdraft, and it's because they're choosing comfort over what's best in the game. This is what I criticized 104 when we watch EU games. Secret VP, they pick the best heroes for the situation.
They
Navi
have
pick-
the luxury of having players that are comfortable in every situation.
I want to see General's Clockwork pop off against Monkey King. Imagine, you see the flare into the hook shot, and realistically, this is such a hard game for Navi.
It is.
But
You need a little bit of
have
that,
hope.
like IX Mike liquid match.
All right. Well, maybe they
There it is.
have that.
There
Maybe they have that
Maybe
when
they
they're
do.
being on the comfort heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe that will work for Navi here in game 2. It needs to work for them if they want to force this to a third game. Let's find out if they can, together with OD Pixel and Fog.
Well, let's find out indeed. I mean, that really is the question. Fog, coming into this game 2, we saw Navi on the game 1 draft try for some sort of greedy strat, all in on the V-Tune Slark. What do you think of their approach here in what we're seeing from them in game 2? Is it going to be any better?
Oh, and this is all out of look at General's starting items. That is all I'm gonna say. They gotta just be the most aggressive players on the planet. I think if this game slows down at all, they just literally lose this game. They have to play super clean Dota, super aggressive, and let's see. They're starting it out with the smoke.
Let's see if they can get GPK. GPK, he's going to be fine.
Oh, they're always want to fly.
I say he's going to be fine.
is he?
Actually, GPK went back in. Whoa, that's done though. That's done though. Okay, he does still go down. As Navi, well, they got what they came for. They get first blood. General gets it.
That's the quad gauntlets right there really paying off, and they allowed him to survive. Oh, I love the build. Navi, as the panel said, they've gone for full out comfort. May not be the best heroes of the patch, but you know what? We're going to see some fun. I think they're going to play super aggressive, and I think that's the best way that they have to play versus VP. I think VP really showcased the last game just that they're on another level. They just looked so clean, the way that they moved around and danced and just recognized their win conditions so well. Navi's got to cause chaos, and we're going to see if they can in this.
See there, indeed, very close to being able to take General down before he got that hit off, but the case.
They ran back to base. They have to TP to the lane, so Ursa's up here. Immediately got to start getting harassed though from the 2 VP heroes, and is already, as we know, the Timbersaw is going to skill chain. We saw it already earlier, and he's versus Ursa, so always. The General Clock, man, I haven't seen it in a while. They haven't had to bust it out in some time because he's been getting his heroes every single time. But now that we see how hard VP's focused this poor General, and we'll see what he can do as this Clockwork.
I mean, is it a good clock game?
Not so much. It's okay versus like the backlines to catch the Oracle, but your damage can just be completely negated. And I don't think there's very many games where a Clockwork is a good core hero.
No. Don't see it. Position really. Stay.
He's got 1,000 HP though. You know, look at that. Look at the item build. I love it.
I mean, it's going to be hard for them to kill him in the lane with that amount of HP to work through. I mean, well, I guess maybe not when Nightfall has his boots. Yeah.
They're deceptively really squishy on the bottom lane. 1 armor Phoenix, 2 armor Clockwork, and it's a Monkey King. I think this is one of the better lanes Monkey King could be in with the backup of an Oracle too. I think it makes it that much stronger. I really like the way the VP set up their lanes, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much chaos Navi can cause. I think that's really gonna have to be the name of the game, especially when they pick, Iceberg. They picked him a comfortable hero like that Queen of Pain, but it is into a Lion. So there's always gonna be those disables mid game that it's just unavoidable.
Yeah, we saw how well Save was playing the Lion last game, so
yeah,
he's gonna find those catches.
Timbersaw is actually beating the Ursa right now in CS. Timber Chain early level and just the way Save's able to play. And there's the mana drain. It's actually very effective and very obnoxious. Up there usually wants to be able to spam a little bit more. Save's done a great job of just burn his mana.
Down bottom, Nightfall 11 for 3. General 11 for 1 though. So that, yeah, both getting farmed down here. We'll see what General does with his farm as the offlane clock.
He's getting some bracers online, so he is gonna be durable at least in the HP department, not in the armor department for quite some time, but hey, we'll see. Blink quickly. That's why we see this Queen of Pain pick in the game, not only just because of comfort, because you can blink dodge those Spirit Siphons. And he will have rune control. That's the other thing about the Queen of Pain versus Death Prophet matchup. You can get rotations, you can get rune control, and you can pose better kill threat onto the Death Prophet most of the time, rather than if the DP gets a rotation. Navi has to pull the bottom lane a bit. It is a tough lane still for General. I'm actually very impressed that he's gotten up to the 15 already at this point versus Monkey King Oracle. But now they have to rely on pulling him. Now we'll see the runes start to get checked out. Roger gonna start making his move. And this is actually interesting to point out, even though Roger is a level 23 Phoenix, it usually actually is always 1 of 5 playing it with the...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Definitely, as you say, here for Roger. As
top.
GPK is going to be able to grab that.
Oh, and it's an illusion. Very fortunate versus the Queen of Pain. No more Shadow Strikes for you.
To ever really be a situation where Iceberg's going to find the opportunity to jump and punish GPK in the lane now.
And DM is literally getting away with everything top. He's even bullying the Ursa back without an Orb of Venom. Usually when I see them able to bully, it's because they have Oov and they just like got a good head start. But he's actually bullying Ursa without it. And already up to level 4, V2 actually has to be a little careful. He has to walk away from the creep wave. Never something you want to see with an Ursa versus Timbersaw matchup. As he can't get a single last hit. He just missed like 6 or 7 under the tower there. VP just running at him made it so that he couldn't actually get a single one of them up there. DM is being a total nuisance as to push them away from the bounty runes. And we see the 2 illusions from GPK deny both bounty runes on the bottom side. So it's VP, 2 bounty runes for themselves, and Navi 0. Big moves coming out from him.
Yeah. GPK not missing a beat.
He is looking to really win today. No mercy.
Save. Get trapped here in the field. Terminax, he's still got a stun to go. He's always want to fly, trying to cut it out. Save's able to turn.
He's turning.
Oh, he's going to get the kill.
All right.
A little bit of XP on the way out. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, well worth it. He gets to reset, gets himself his golden experience too. And his Timbersaw's having a fine time anyway, so it doesn't matter if he's on the lane as V-Tune. He's only gotten 4 last hits in the last minute and a half.
I mean, we can see now, you know, both V-Tune and General just not having great times in these side lanes. As we'll see Save again, just in such such an annoyance here, coming in and taking that arcane rune away from Iceberg. At least
they refilled the bottle.
They get that.
But General, he's had to break from the lane. He can't actually play the lane anymore as Clockwork. He has to just start moving around looking for these type of kills, which he's not bad against versus the 2 supports. This is not what you want your offlaner to be doing already. Like, you don't want him to be breaking out of the lane at this point. GPK. Got some siphons to work with. Ooh, Iceberg. Take off in time.
Oh, it does get the lion.
Save.
Save will die for that. Okay, Iceberg.
And GPK.
All right, they're going to get the 2 of them.
Go.
It works out.
I hit the kill switch.
Nicely
Very
done
nice.
there. Holding underneath the tower.
Every little thing matters too, right? The bottle refill coming into play because he's got the mana to work around. So always want to fly's TP coming out big.
Very nice moves. In a situation where it looked like it was going to go VP's way, and looked like that Sonic wave that only just scratched the lion. That was very, very close.
If they lose the Queen of Pain there, oh, and I'm already late. I would have been
rough.
like, VP's got this. So they really need to get those type of kills. Keep this aggression going. Keep the chaos going. Keep catching VP off guard as, I mean, DM is now taking over top lane. Ursa is now jungling. That is a huge concern. They even see it now with the ward too. So DM, he's just going to be able to press the issue forward even more. Just commit past the tower. Even maybe pull the next wave and just really take this tower so that Navi's just got
Iceberg.
problems.
Gonna try and make moves down bottom. TP's coming in. I should get Kingslayer. Well, I say that. The stun's coming out into the Hex. Iceberg, he's gonna be in trouble for this one as he goes down for that attempt.
And Roger too. They've got a Primal Spring for him. Oh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, that's the rotation if you Queen of Pain coming in, leading their life away towards the Monkey King.
And now always want to fly. He will be able to get the glimpse away after the Timber Chain, so it will be okay. But Tower is going to die. A first failed rotation as a Queen of Pain. And it's all about this game from Navi. It has to be like perfect. They have it's all about the mid game, right? Ursa, Queen of Pain, and Clockwork Cores. If you start having some struggles in this early game, your mid game is going to completely fall apart. Like, Ursa's not going to be able to join the fights. Queen of Pain is playing versus natural silences and Hex. And it's a Clockwork Core. Cause havoc as he's level 4. Oh, and this is not looking good for Navi.
I mean, how's his build go? How many braces are you going to turn those gloves into, do you think?
I think that's it. I think that's all he's getting.
All
He's gotta
braces.
just start. He can't lane. He can't CS anymore, so he has to just literally be running around and trying to just like counter gank. But now he's playing as a 4 position, right? So that's why this is a big reason why we don't see that Clockwork play too much in that offlane is you get relegated as a support and your items don't really progress that much better or anything like that. It's just, yeah, you just get kind of just get sacrificed completely for your game. EP. Very comfortable. Top 3 net worth. Pressuring 2 towers. Monkey King free farming. See how Navi responds.
GPK running in on always want to fly. Nearly finding the kill, actually. Just want to fly, having a step right back V-tune. Got the stun into the Hex.
Alrighty.
The Sonic Wave does burst down safe, and now they can look to try and turn. They try for GPK. Now they look over towards Kingslayer, but time's been brought for DM to come across. As Iceberg, he's on the run. His Blink's still on cooldown. Iceberg's going to go down. Another move where, I mean, Iceberg, he is getting kills, but he's losing his life for them, and the kills are only on supports.
It does. Oh, and it feels so bad there. They don't even defend the tower. DM just rotates mid now, and now they have no Sonic Wave to even punish or push this Timber wide. He's just gonna walk at them, and now it's Monkey King also free farming bottom. This is just all going VP's favor. As General, he just wants to join the fray. He's level 5. He's feeling a little bit strong now on this clock, but tower's gone.
I mean, and the question is, we've sort of seen it in both of these games here from Navi. They've clearly brought something rather different to the table.
Yep.
You know, they've felt that they had to go and try something that would maybe catch VP by surprise. Do you think maybe they were sort of undervaluing themselves in this matchup? Could Navi have played a more standard sort of draft in this series and had a good shot? Or do you think at the end of the day they do have to try something very different because VP is just that bit better?
Well, VP just took them out of their comfort zone, right? They just banned the Beastmaster Enigma that they've played all season.
Okay.
And then they just picked the Timbersaw, and then they banned the Mars. And then it's like, what do you pick for General? He had no heroes left. Then they ban out most of Icebergs as well too, the Doom as well as that Invoker. I think VP just really did their homework, and it feels like Navi, they're a step behind. They're just really a step behind VP, who is just prepared on all elements and very open to play pretty much anything. These guys, they don't mind if they just like switch a role, switch a hero, something like that. Panel was talking about how they're all just comfortable playing everything, while Navi, they've only shown a couple strategies, and it really feels like VP's just playing around that. As I don't know when Navi really hits their timings. Like Iceberg, he's so far behind at this point. He has to have Sonic Wave to make any successful rotations. And I love the way that VP set up this draft, where all 3 cores are probably the 3 best cores you could have with Oracle. All benefit from False Promise super hard, so you can't actually pressure wherever the Oracle is. So we'll see as Navi, they're gonna have to sit back and try to get some farm up, but farming into this VP game, you know, VP, it feels like you're playing into their hand. Roger's still quite not level. So that's one thing that could maybe fail them out in some situations, the 2 big ults that come out from these 2 supports, if they can try to get a positional advantage. VP they never give them that. As we saw the last game, they're very good at identifying when they should pressure, when they should sacrifice the support and stuff like that. As Muller, 4-6, 11:30. Maybe they can catch save. He's far up.
That should be an easy one. They're going to drop the Static Storm down. Make sure that they can guarantee a kill, give Vichin that bit of a boost to get his Battle Fury done.
He needs it. Anything he can get. That's Roger bottom. Can't quite take him out there.
Should Nightfall's farms go? Slow down, and the Maelstrom is complete. I mean, Vichin is still farmed. Like, it's going to be a question of, you know, how much can the Ursa pull off in this sort of game? Like, is he playing against a lot of counters to his hero?
Yeah, Death Prophet Yules. It's going to be annoying. There's the controls, the disarms, the dispels as well from the Oracle can even be obnoxious as the Ursa. And you just don't have, you're not ready. You're going to take a very long time to get involved. Even after Battle Fury, you don't want to fight. You want that next item to be able to join in. VP, they're going to start really kicking up the tempo. Death Prophet's about to have Yules, so he has that natural counter versus Ursa at all times too.
See what he can get.
Tough phone. It's like Clockwork and Queen of Pain cores. If they're not making a lot happen in these phases of the game, you know, that 8 to 20 minute mark, they just effectively fall behind. They just effectively fall off. That's just the nature of the heroes.
Tower is under attack.
As they swing top, 13 minutes. Exorcism, DM can just tank this tower. So they can look to take this. And then they'll be able to deny the outpost, and it forces Navi's hand to maybe go fight. Maybe Navi can. They have all their ults. So this is when they are very strong. Sonic Wave, the Egg, the Disruptor ult as well, Static Storm, and everything with General coming in and maybe getting a good cap. So let's see if they can look to fight around this tower. The Death Prophet ult is ending. Be getting into a position around their Monkey King.
They're going to get the glimpse.
They get the glimpse.
They'll catch Kingslayer.
It's a big catch.
Instead, he's going to turn across, get the stun opening onto Iceberg. Iceberg is going to die for that attempt. General comes in with the side with the hook shot, with the Battle strikes down from Nightfall. They do manage to get that Supernova off. VP are having to kite it out to the side. As the stun comes out, but Safe's already away. The Wukong's command now down. The Sonic Wave will push back the 3 of them, pushes Nightfall out of the ult. The DM, he's still good to go. He's chasing down Vichin, and with the Chakram, DM's going to be able to get the kill. He takes down the Ursa. See what DM and Nightfall can do here. Does Iceberg want to poke any further? He did buy back here, so he's got to be careful. Blink out away from the boundless strike of Nightfall. Navi, they get some kills in return, but still they're having to use Iceberg's buyback, and they're losing V-Tune.
Yep. They lost V-Tune, and it's all the way on their side of the map, so they can't really turn this into anything either, as they've had to use absolutely everything, including a buyback. And it feels like that buyback was absolutely necessary, as they wouldn't have gotten like any kills if Iceberg didn't do that, as VP very prepared for the fight. They reset the positioning of it to play around their Monkey King. Although they lose Kingslayer to start, they still somehow end out in a good position in the fight. Now's Navi coming together with everything, all their ults.
Still unable to break down this lead that VP has against them.
And their lineup is about early game, so if they're not commandingly winning these big fights at this point, it doesn't feel like it's going to progress into anything else. At least they have stacks. So V2, he has some ancient stacks and some hard camp stank. But now this downtime, it feels like it plays again, still into VP. They're comfortable. Their lineup, it scales really well. As Navi's, it does not scale that well. Only the Ursa really does scale that well, as well as I guess the Phoenix. But you want your other core heroes to scale in comparison. As VP, all three scale super nicely.
Navi want to tackle the potential fight in the top lane again. They'll let this tier 2 go.
They have a good ward up, at least, all the way in that top north side, the Tinker ward, to at least watch the Oracle's positioning. So maybe they could still be catching Kingslayer. But GPK, he's got level 2 Exorcism. VP wants this tower pre-20.
They're going to get it.
And they're going to get it. And they're saving Exorcism. So do they knock on the base, or do they just swing for another tier 2? Maybe just swing for another tier 2.
Go another tier 2. They could go for Roche. We've got plenty of options here, VP.
There's the outpost. Kingslayer is grabbing it. Navi, this is going to be such a late Orchid on Iceberg. They're going to be probably getting close to the BKBs on the 2 main core heroes. Actually, Nightfall's not even going for it. He's going SNY. He's going much more greed. And they're setting up a rush. So Exorcism plus DM tanking it. They can do this with full HP.
Yeah.
And Navi, they do have everything ready, but fighting into this pit, that gives VP the opportunity to catch the heroes running in. It makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, pretty impossible.
Yeah.
Turn up here.
Kingslayer's shadow amuleted on the side too, so they wouldn't even be able to find him if they did jump into the fight.
Just on Nightfall now, so not only having to deal with Kingslayer ready to save him in the middle of the action, take him down twice. Still a tough game for General.
Yeah.
Lagging behind quite a bit here.
Not much he can do. You're a 3-position clockwork. You can't show in lanes. You can't farm. You have to just get farmed through kills. And he's only found, two assists as well. This VP. No, this move is coming. DM very defensively. Even cutting himself all the way back, not even wanting to walk through the lane in case he caught behind the tower.
Good breed.
Yep.
Smoked rather close.
And the other two core heroes, they're playing, I've been saying this a lot lately, but it's the buddy system. You have one of your supports sitting behind you when your other hero is showing. So even if they look to make moves on the other side, your support might just tank the gank for that opposing core. So splitting up their resources well and unable to find anything besides just putting down a nice aggressive.
That's the Orchid done now. But as you say, it's not a quick one. It is a slow timing this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not that bad though for how many deaths it feels like Iceberg has had.
Sure.
18 minutes isn't that bad.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Does feel like VP's already pretty prepared for it. They're already setting up for the next tower push mid. An arcane rune at the ready inside of GPK's bottle. Ult back up in 15 seconds.
Dire's bottom tower
Nightfall away at the tier 1 on his own down bottom.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Probably just trying to slow it down, but won't quite be able to, as he will be able to finish off that tower and save. He's trying to finish up the blink. They don't have the easiest ways of initiating still on the side of VP. They kind of just have to walk into the fights, but he's going to have it any minute now. And we saw what he was able to do last game with that blink, and now he's playing versus a hero without Dark Bag. Queen of Pain, a very easy target to just immediately go for with those blink hexes. Scan is successful. Iceberg. Is he going to stick around for these two creeps?
Oh no, he's sticking around. He's sticking around for them, and that'll cost him.
Successful scan from VP as always want to flow. Okay, he gets away. But yeah, successful scan from VP gets them that kill as they swing across the map.
Just went.
Now that's a long death. That was the buyback, right? That was the buyback death. So it's 50 seconds without a Queen of Pain.
The time where he's just not able to have the impact that he needs to as a quap. This Orchid rush.
And now it feels late, right? Because now it effectively is like a 21-minute Orchid when he responds, and GPK, he'll nearly have that BKB done.
Yeah, he's got Yules, he's got BKB, he's got an Oracle behind him. DM's pretty much got a Lotus Orb. Yeah, that Orchid doesn't feel too great anymore.
Nope. and he hasn't even gotten to use it yet. And still hanging on to the exorcism since they're just pushing it without having to use it. They're saving it for the fight or for the next opportunity of play. As we see mid, they're cutting the creep wave on VTune, but he's getting stunned up.
Safe. He's able to set up. They get in. VTune, he pops the BKB. He's going for the TP out with the Enrage. Oh my goodness. He makes it away.
Do it with flair.
And that is the blink reveal, General. Has to cancel his TP.
I was going to say, he's not going to be able to do anything here against DM. As, okay, he can get out with the hook shot. Always want to fly by his side to give him something to jump to.
They're going to chase. They have the other two cores connecting. DP and Monkey King were thinking about starting to jump over.
Klims is still on cooldown. Ooh, he's in. DM, can he get anything else out of this, Roger? He's out of the map, back over towards mid. Nightfall, he's able to trap VTune in the ult. BKB and Enrage is still on cooldown. He's got to get out of it. The Static Storm has to be laid down to stop Nightfall from chasing. No glimpse him, but he's got the Aegis still for 30 seconds.
Iceberg at least able to get himself another kill, get use of his Orchid. Oof, VTune lucky to get away though. Think about it, he probably just stepped up and got like stunned and comboed from save. To get out with his life as his BKB will be back up in 5 seconds. But VP, they've gotten so much time now to just back away and just sit back, farm, finish up all these items to counteract, as you say, versus that Orchid. That BKB nearly done on Nightfall, BKB nearly done on GPK, and Lotus Orb is finished. They've got the answers already.
A lot of this now just Navi on VTune to carry them out. Be that force that can jump and take out a target at the start of the fight. He is still very farmed. He's up there with Nightfall, but a lot rests on what he's able to do in these fights.
He's got it. Yeah, he's really got to do so much. Has to find the Oracle. Same thing for the Queen of Pain. They have to get to the back lines to be able to take out those annoying supports. And then they do have hopes inside the fights. DM is still a big issue, though. I don't know how they're going to kill this Timbersaw unless he's like full out isolated.
Tower is under attack.
Such a good game from the lane.
Whenever you have like this type of game versus an Ursa lane too, right? He's 4-0 and 4, 190 last hits. He bullied the Ursa out of lane. Get an aggressive ward down, and now they're looking to smoke. They send the Monkey King top, and they're going to go try to back him up. They also get a successful scan, and he has BKB. So they are very ready to fight.
And so does GPK.
Oh, man. Yeah. Double BKBs. Now the Egg, the Disruptor, the Clockwork, even the Queen of Pain just almost fully addressed. These fights for Navi. Now VTune has to just pop off in the backline some. Does not feel easy.
Navi can catch the backlines off guard here with this smoke.
Oh, GPK has another Arcane Rune. I swear he's always getting Arcanes.
Oh boy.
Even has the Essence Ring too, so he pops that before walking up the high ground. So he's just effectively tankier from that max HP increase.
Navi, they're not finding him. See DM now.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
At least
Another smoke from VP though. They've got this big timing with double BKBs. They really want to show it. They really want to bring it to Navi as Iceberg is split away from his team.
oh, gonna be able to find always want to fly. It's in the best interest to get everyone else out of there, but the Boundless Strike from Nightfall catches onto Generally. Will manage to hook shot over towards the mid wave, and that will keep him alive. So again, able to run. Well, I said actually, yeah, Nightfall just able to just swing across the map, closing the gap. And despite the strong attempt with a hook shot to escape, VP are able to run him down and kill him off anyway.
They're so quick with the way they're making the moves. You know, they smoke to make one swing across the map, a secondary smoke to get onto their high ground. And yeah, Iceberg, he wasn't there. So immediately Navi, they just know they have to bail away. Iceberg at least has farmed his BKB, so he'll have some protection if he's able to get it off before the
mid.
next double tap.
Save! He's got the Hex into the finger. They're giving everything to VTune's Ursa. Oh, he's able to get the BKB and the Enrage off, but only just. The Static Storm's down on a Kingslayer and save, as they will get the 2 supports in return. Oh, my goodness, was that close. They nearly lost VTune.
At least they get two trade kills there. That's pretty nice. And they do get V2 out.
So
Anything
close,
like any
though.
small type of thing for Navi is good, but yeah, so close. He nearly does go down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gold.
You're seeing, you know, you might have magic immunity, but the chain stun is absolutely there from VP.
Find that opening. They don't mess up the follow of VP.
And now they didn't have exorcism for that attempt there. Now GPK he will have it up again, because he did use it with an arcane rune last time. And Navi, they don't have any ults. Roche has respawned V-Tune in the area of it. He's actually going to start it as an instant pause. You know what that means?
Packet,
packet
I think it
loss,
means packet lost.
Thank you, On.
Thank. Oh yeah, Save said it as well. They don't have any vision. I mean, do you think they're going to suspect this this Roshan?
Yeah, bottom
Yeah,
lane's
they're
pushing
gonna check
in, mid
it.
lane's pushing in. Yeah, I think they absolutely know this is going on.
Navi stick around for it. We're going to see them sort of run as soon as they get a sight of VP.
I think they've got to run. They don't have Egg. There's no way they win a fight without Egg. No Sonic Wave. They literally have like no ults up at all. I think this is a pretty ambitious attempt at the rush. I really think that VP is expecting this. And they have everything at the ready. They're trying hard to kill it fast. The BKB is up now, at least from V-Tune. They get the successful scan on the high ground. And VP, maybe they aren't aware.
And Navi, I mean, that's a big objective to get there. VP
Oh,
not,
they got a cheese.
not stopping it, yeah. Aegis and cheese for Navi.
Dire's
Not bad, not bad.
is under attack.
Is that the Basher as well, too? Yeah, V-Tune, he's got a Basher, too. So he's doing pretty decent. His other cores really struggling, but he at least is having a good time.
Let's see if he can do
There's
it.
a lot to go through.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Navi setting up to make a move here. Tune leading the
Lots of
way.
BKBs, and Kingslayer's in position.
Haste.
Oh,
Oh,
hook shot misses. And that'll be
they
the
know.
smoke revealed, yeah.
and they see V-Tune. They have a ward on the high ground here. DM is going to start on him.
Set up with the Yules. He instantly pops the Enrage to try and escape. But a Yules will hold him back. He's got to put the BKB as well to run. Static Storm used defensively as they're just having to get out of it. Navi always want to fly. He's not making it out. Boundless Strike puts the TP to an end. Very much a whiffed attempt there from Navi to get something going. General just not able to find the angle. And from that moment on, it was all a little bit over the place from Navi.
It feels like maybe it was fortunate that he didn't, though. The Oracle was completely in position. His whole team was at the backup. That could be a really disastrous position for Navi to fight. Around the tree lines there with Monkey King, too. Maybe it was a little lucky that they didn't connect. VP, they looked super ready for it. Now, General, he's shown himself in the lane. VP out.
VP now in position to bring around this bottom wave.
About to hit level
themselves
20 on
tier two.
Nightfall. He's got Ags now as well. Oh, baby. GPK not quite level 18. Just a little bit shy of it after this wave. Still tough. It's just hard for Navi to fight because they don't have... The thing is, they don't have these similar forms of lockdown. They have these good ways of team fighting with Static Storm and Egg and, you know, getting maybe some catches like that, but they don't have the stuns. That is really what's making it so hard, and that just means that it's guaranteed for VP that they're gonna get their BKBs off. It's really tough for them to actually control these targets. So they're gonna have to be really perfect with the way they do jump somebody. You don't want it to be DM, as he will break that smoke.
Oh,
Oh,
he misses the timber chain, but I don't think
they
he
don't
cares.
ignore him.
Yeah, DM's just going to turn, and he's going to take out Always Want to Fly. We'll see over to the side. General and Iceberg popping the BKB. He's going to blow the Sonic Wave onto Kingslayer.
the Egg?
Kingslayer's still alive.
Right
The Egg's
next
just
to-
going to get taken out as it's positioned right by Nightfall. Kingslayer, he's going to be back up to full HP. They blew the Sonic Wave on him, but they didn't quite kill him as he got the false promise off. The Wukong's is down as General's gone. V-Tune is enraged, kited up by the Yules. He'll try and jump out, but he's down the once. VP, they're going to be able to set up to do it again. As Navi, they cannot get across to help him out. V-Tune goes down.
A full disaster by Navi as the fight is just on two different sides. The egg, Roger jumps up, puts the egg right next to the Monkey King who is stuck on the high ground. They're like literally right next to him. They all just die. And just the follow-up exorcism and Wukong's just sealing the deal on top of the Ursa. V-Tune having no hope when he's isolated like that. We're seeing just all the power of VP's Raps coming together, and Navi's, you know, the timing, it's long past.
Yeah, I guess what, Roger, was he not aware that Nightfall had ended up on the cliff?
No, he was Sunray burning him up on the cliff to make sure that he couldn't hop down, and then he had to commit because the Boundless Strike came down. And I think Timbersaw was on top of him, so he just committed the dive, and he just ended up next to the Monkey King. He was very likely dead anyway, no matter where he placed the egg, but it just looked funny because he did it right on the cliff right next to the Monkey.
Nightfall, yes, happy with that. And still going unscathed this game. 2-0-10 Nightfall. Haven't managed to kill him.
Didn't kill him the last game either. He could end this whole series without a death.
Very, very well done here by VP yet again. Butterfly. About halfway done for Nightfall as his next item.
They're really good at just identifying like their strengths and weaknesses in like certain aspects of the game and when they should sacrifice people. Like I'm looking this game, Save, he's got 8 deaths. Kingslayer has 3. That's 11 of the 14 deaths. You know, that's Navi. They're not getting the kills they want. They're not killing core heroes. And it's very similar to the last game where we saw the exact same thing happening. VP always sacrificing these supports in these positions, and cores just always survive. And they get these cleanups and they just make the game look kind of easy in a way, the way they dance around Navi's attempted plays. They just are very aware of the map. Now they're going to smoke. They're looking for the head-on fight. DD in the bottle of Nightfall. Smoke will be broken.
Navi, they don't want to jump this unless they're completely sure of the position of VP's support.
They can't be the ones jumping anymore. It feels like they have to just do full defensive plays. It has to be like the egg all the way in the back, and it feels so hard for them to take any of these fights. These VP supports now at this point have had very good positioning. I see Kingslayer just spamming Shadow Amulet the whole time on himself too, to be able to hide.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And fun things to point out too is, you know, GPK, he's been holding it for a while now, but he has Elven Tunic. So, you know, people always talk about the evasion and everything. It's movement speed too. Look at this Death Prophet's move speed. He's not only very good with that evasion versus Ursa, but he's also super speedy. And he finds himself yet another Arcane Rune, his 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th Arcane Rune that he has found.
Tune, what's going to be the big item? Turn things around. MKB.
Make that a rapier.
I think so.
I really feel like he needs it. It feels like he's just alone in this game.
Dean K down now against Beep. And this is, you know, this is what you want to see from VP performance-wise, you know, towards the end of this league. Going in from what will be this top position towards the major, you know, this is the level of play that is the reason why a lot of the fans are very excited to see what VP is going to do on an international stage.
100%. They've been so clean. And Navi have had some absolutely beautiful games, right? They've had some really clean games where they've stopped, but they've also had a lot of these dicey games where it's been really back and forth, and they've just, you know, even dropped some games to teams that they didn't think they would. But VP, they've not shown that. They've not shown any slip-ups, and even Nightfall. Okay, this was kind of cool. So he bought a quarterstaff. We see that Ursa queues up MKB. He sells quarterstaff, buys a full Scotty. Now Ursa's going MKB just to deal with an Elven Cloak of a Death Prophet.
Damn.
He's debating.
Well, in that situation, you definitely want to be getting a rapier instead. Oh, okay. Boundless Strike going to be off the mark. Always want to fly. He's out. No, he's not. DM's in. He's got the Yules. And they'll get themselves the kill. DM continues his godlike streak over towards the mid. Iceberg. He's going to put the BKB, but he can't blink out in time.
And he has no buyback. He just spent his gold on Shivas.
Wait, no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. All right. Well,
that's a Rax.
That's at least a Rax. There's no Queen of Pain here for a minute. For any sort of final fight potentially from Navi as VP. They're getting this mid-Rax here. Fortification will be popped, but especially once they realize that Iceberg's not coming back, they are not going to stop sieging the base of Navi. They'll swing straight up towards the top lane.
The glimpse.
All right.
Slow down Nightfall a little bit, but
a minor inconvenience.
Yep. Slightly annoying. V2, you know what the saddest thing is, Owen, honestly? The fact that they still have the cheese on Navi when they got the Roche earlier. They just haven't even had a chance to use it versus VP.
I haven't. VP's just not allowed them many opportunities to fight.
Nope. And they're going to get the tower. Queen of Pain's going to start respawning, and they're immediately going to go for that Roche. So we'll see it spawning in about a minute. They've got more than enough time, and there's no way Navi can fight around that pit, as we've seen. VP, they're just playing this one super methodical, super clean, looking to make no more mistakes.
Let's go. Let's see. Seeing Aghanims dropped and picked up by save. That's what we want. That's how you finish in style here if you're VP.
Dude, GPK has a heart. Oh my god. They can't kill anybody. They will never kill a core.
The rapier. They need the rapier. It's the only way for V-Tune. Sell that javelin. Hey, sell the damn cheese.
Sell the cheese. I actually was
take that cheese straight to market.
I honestly think they need it. They really just need to get it.
How much does it go for nowadays? You get what, 500 gold?
500.
500 gold.
Always been 500. Same thing. Hey, Refresher Shard is also 500 gold, by the way.
Oh yeah, I always forget that you can sell Refresher Shard.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know why you can.
A tip for your pubs, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's always that annoying item. You know, there's always a support that wants it. They won't notice if it's gone. Just run it to the shop.
MKB is done. VP just chasing.
And they're popping the egg. They've got the hook shot in, but they're hitting the egg down. They're going to be able to take it away. Nightfall getting a little low, but he's able to get the Wukong's command off as General dies inside of the ultimate. Vichu will pop the cheese, but he's going to die as soon as he's eaten it. As they have killed the Monkey King, but there's 4 dead. There's soon to be 5 here, with Iceberg also caught out to the side. He can't get out. 5 dead, all without buybacks. It's over. GG is called, and VP, they'll take this game, and with that, the series 2-0 against Navi here today, Fulton. I mean, my goodness, they look very, very good.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch this team versus like Secret versus IG and everything on the international stage.
Absolutely.
They look really impressive. And the thing is that they've done it with a lot of different various types of drafts and a lot of different like quirky stuff. You know, they busted out the jungle Huskar. They've destroyed their opponent's